Hello, folks. Welcome to another production of the Single H Show. Your name is...
My name is Chris Canyon. Your name is...
The Single H. And, folks, today is a very important day for very sad reasons. Today is Transgender Day of Remembrance.
We are recording this on November the 20th, although you will be listening to it this weekend. But this is November the 20th, Transgender Day of Remembrance. So, Single H, explain to our siblings, the view listeners, what does that mean?
Transgender Day of Remembrance is to remember everyone in our community that either got murdered or died by suicide.
And suicide due to aggressive bullying.
Yes.
Yes. And being on journeys that they really could not find their place within their identities, or really were aggressively not allowed to find their places in their identities.
Yeah. So, let's know this episode, it's okay to listen later. That it's going to get heavy. That is the nature of it. Turn it off. Go listen, go watch something funny, and then come back. Once you are charged, take breaks when you need to throughout the podcast if you need it. That is probably one of only a couple on of our podcasts that I'm going to say fully going through that this is not a background podcast.
Yes, let's listen to this and process these things together.
Yeah.
Because we already exist in an environment that individuals are so traumatized, bullied, attacked, that they have either been killed or they have reached levels of depression because of bullying, that they have moved into self-harm. And it's scary. It already exists, and we have not yet moved into a regime of the new presidency that's stacking up things that is going to make it hard for specifically our transgender community to have gender-affirming care and have gender-affirming rights on things. And it's already bad, and we haven't even gotten there yet.
So, in these moments before the podcast, I want all of you to think of one thing positive. You don't have to say it out loud. Let's think of one thing going into this, and let's know by the end of it, hopefully we can leave with sadness, but more will to bring hope into a darkening world.
So, November 6th, I had already begun being completely heartbroken.
Yeah.
And I needed badly to be in an environment of acknowledging that heartache. And you and I, the good brothers, were present tonight in an environment affirming and opening towards us being able to have hurt, staggered emotions.
Yeah. And this is the first time that I kind of had felt anything more than existential pain and like deep, going between exponential pain and deep nothingness for a while.
Yeah.
After the election, and it's that kind of being able to ground and be sad and let that pain take a physical outward shape.
Yes. This evening we attended the Transgender Day of Remembrance as sponsored by
Transgender Support Services and the LGBTQIA Flood North County Support Center and the GAP Support Center.
Thank you. These great agencies within San Diego County that are doing great work for our LGBTQIA plus siblings, our transgender youth, and so forth. And it was our just immense blessing to be in this environment tonight. And you being a person who identifies as FTM transgender.
Yeah, we have break that down further, but FTMMBA. It's kind of what I'm going to say.
Okay, so let's break those letters down in the next episode of the Single H Show.
Yeah.
But let's talk through this journey that you are a part of.
Yeah.
That you identify in this space, and because I needed this, but you are the community.
Yeah.
You needed this more than anything because of all the unknowing that's going on. Let's talk about the event specific for a few moments.
So, I'm going to break that down hour by hour somewhat.
It was a 3-hour event, 3 sections, and every bit of it was needed.
Yeah.
Yes.
The first section was the eat, drink, get to know people, have some sugar in your system, go see what the support center had to offer. And yet, even though I know you all were thinking it, yes, I did leave with more stickers than I began with.
Yes. Single H did not leave sticker deprived.
Yes.
Yes.
And the second section leads more into the first part of the second section was 30-minute kind of preparing for it. I'm sorry, I'm cold. Some words are not going to sound fully, and it's gonna be a second.
Okay, I'll get the heat on for you.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
And also, my brain is...
This was an intense night.
Yeah.
Okay, we're just going to be really honest with you. We decided to record this on our drive home from the event because we still wanted to be within the vulnerable place that we moved into because that we were at this event.
Yeah, and...
So, let's go into the first hour. The first hour was eating, talking, and being together.
I did the first hour.
But let's talk about it for a minute because I noticed something that you didn't.
Yeah.
And it's really important to me that you notice it.
Yeah.
This community, this specific community, knows Single H.
Yeah.
They know, they don't just care for you because you're a sibling.
Yeah.
This community knows Single H.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to see the number of people that came over to you because of your involvement in the Discord, because of our entity as the Good Brothers at many of these events.
Yeah.
They knew you and came over to you. Now, there's not a lot of young siblings that have a community of friends that are on their journey with them that don't just see them, but they know them.
Yeah.
And that's a part of the issue that we were kind of talking about tonight.
Yeah, it was great knowing. It was nice being able to see other people within the community and that kind of let everyone that's sitting with their emotions and no one trying to put them into the emotion Pandora box to be released later in a more painful way.
Yeah.
Everyone was sitting with them. And it was nice to see faces that I knew. People that helped get through the step that we are now.
Yes, our sibling that helped you through your name and gender marker changes was there. Fantastic friend.
Yeah.
We ran into the CEO of North County LGBTQIA+ Resource Center.
Yeah.
And he knew you.
Yeah.
And that was amazing to me, that this person who cares for so many people knew you. And I'm not trying to brag about you. It's just that's how aware and connected this community of siblings is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was, that first hour was like a wonderful slow lower. Yeah, I'm gonna use that. A slow lower into freezing cold water.
Yes. Because it did get deep.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you that you worked through it.
Yeah,
Let's jump into the second section.
Yeah. The second section, it kind of combined with the third in an intersecting hour.
Yes.
So the first part of the second hour was that you're getting deeper into the cold water. It was slowly adjusting, going into that space to be ready to feel deep emotions around people that you know you can.
Yes. So there was this open mic time period that existed that was for anyone to vulnerably share what they're feeling in that moment.
Yeah.
For anyone to vulnerably be open and honest and to talk through and process their feelings. There was a time limit to it, and that was a blessing. And it was just, how many times can you be in a place that you for many people that are already starting to worry about shielding themselves once again, their identities, but you can just be in this space and process your feelings as a transgender individual and feel safe, like safe doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because it was a place built for transgender siblings to feel safe sharing how they feel, who was the first person asked to speak?
You.
I did not jump up. I did not run up there to be the first person. Please tell the siblings the truth. I was asked to start the conversations.
Yes.
Okay.
And yes, I have done church conferences before. Every time I did it in a anxiety attack mess.
Yeah.
My brain did not want to deal with the anxiety of going up to a mic and saying words out loud.
And this night was about you being comfortable, right?
Yeah.
So that wouldn't have made you comfortable. That would have been counterintuitive of what we were doing.
Yeah.
So you going forward to speak wouldn't have worked for you.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you didn't. I want all of our siblings that are listening to this podcast to know what I shared was, hey, I am the image of a lot of hurt. I was there in my pastor's collar and everything, and I took a moment to say, I'm sorry for what people who look like me, dress like me do to you. And that's not the way it is. But I'm sorry for that. And then I also took time to thank that community for being your family.
Yeah.
And the freedom that you have within yourself because you exist within that family. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we heard other siblings do the same thing. And it's not our place to tell their stories, so we'll just say we heard other siblings do the same thing.
And
but
there was...
I do want to point one thing out.
Yeah.
The little girl was amazing.
Yes. Because we need... At the same time, we need our youngest and our teenage voices to raise the highest.
Yes.
We need the young adult voices to raise the highest that are getting the newest information and not checking that book from the 1950s that they have stuffed in the back corner to raise their voices up.
Yes.
For us to have the newest information constantly coming.
And this dear sibling was at maybe as young as 4, but was not older than 6.
Yeah.
Shared a beautiful poem. It was amazing. It was amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
And so we got to process those things together, and then we got to truly the hardest part of the night.
Yes. We started the vigil, and I tell you, that's the first time I felt that strong of emotions probably since the run to the election started.
Yeah. There's some numbers I want to share. 13, 16, 17. I heard those numbers too many times tonight, and the 70-some names read 13, 16, and 17 of the ages of these siblings when they passed away.
Yeah.
That was really brutally hard. And do you know why it's brutally hard for me?
That's my range.
13 is when you came out, right?
Right.
16 is your age now, and I want you to live past 17. It was too much of you when I heard those ages. And it was hard for me to hear. And so we had different friends reading the names. One of the names of a sibling that passed away that I read was 16 years old. And that was hard.
Yeah.
Because as your dad, I want you to be a 11. But these ages were too close.
Yeah.
They were too close. Yeah. And you had a hard time. Can you process in words what you were dealing with at that moment? It's the first time I've seen you cry in a long time.
Yeah, it was kind of a mixture of letting people that I have lost mixed in.
Yeah.
And letting the new wave of grief come in.
Yeah.
In time, but needing a reason to give myself permission to feel those things. I'm going to reiterate one of the things that the host said, that as marginalized communities, we don't feel like we have the right to feel deeply, because this is the part where I'm adding in, because we have to be on alert without fail 24/7.
Yes. That's one end of it, that you have to be on alert, but the other end of it too, and it's why that you should allow yourself to feel I hate using they them language, but fuck, it's they them language. Okay? It really is they them language.
Yeah.
So they don't want you to have value. So you get so devalued that you aren't allowed to feel like you can have feelings.
Yeah.
It's the devaluing of your identity, and you're not allowed to have feelings. So you have to cry, because when you cry, it proclaims your value.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then it would kind of like, that was my brain telling the rest of my body, like, okay, the Pandora box will be filled again all the way to the top very shortly.
Yeah.
Let some of it out before it fully pulls over and we have to deal with more.
Yes. And so we went through those names, and then we walked around with a candlelight walk.
And when I had to light up your candle, the first thought that came into my mind is, the pastor. Like
The pastor's candle went out.
Telling you to lean your asking you to lean your light in for you to grab it, even though I know you've done it all the time. And I'm like, that is such a pastor kid statement.
Yeah. But the other, it was a lot more deeper for me than that. When you lit my candle, Hunter, you do not understand how much that your light has brightened my life in the last 3 years. It's been your light that has pushed me to do things. It's been your light that has motivated me to do the things that I'm doing. That moment that you lit my candle was a physical reminder of how much that you finding your identity has made my life better. So it was a really big deal for me that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all.
So we are going to keep going.
Like I said that while ago, we need this now more than ever. This is my safe way to get my voice out there. So we're going to keep on doing it.
Yes.
And people who don't drive their opinions off of scientific journal fact.
Yeah.
Will no longer be a problem. We will keep on going. I will tell you somehow, somewhere, that transcended media will pass on through generations. It will. I will find a way to.
Because we're not going to give up talking.
Never.
Because the fight is on now.
The fight is on. They thought they were having a light conversation. They're not. And we're gonna make it clear to them. Coming on in the next 4 years, we are making clear that it had never been a conversation for us.
It's
so
our life.
do everything. We will do everything to help them find a way to see that they are causing harm. Could closed-mindedness, that it does cause harm to you and everything outside of you. So, folks, I'm gonna leave you with something. Remember, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow, find one thing to do to make you smile. I don't care if it's eating candy, watch some wrestling, roleplay, do what you do to make you feel better, 'cause you're going to need it to stay on a level that you can fight. 'Cause lately, we all know that burnout and advocacy is happening. So take your time to charge in the time that you have. 'Cause this is a fight now. And it's always good to rest when you have a time when you're in a fight. And to get them off track for you to throw the next one.
Well said. That was the Single H show for this week.
Your name is...
We are
the
Good Brothers.
Have a great week. And folks, please, keep care of yourself.